Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long time coming. I know it's crazy with the holidays, the Christmas, the New Year's, everything. But the Sports Dolls podcast is back, and it is back with a vengeance because, boy, do we have a lot to talk about, from bowl games to playoffs to everything in between. In the upcoming semifinals, it's going to be an extraordinaire. So pay attention, buckle up. Here we go. As always, your host with the flowiest flow, Josh Dahl. As always, co-host, my father, proudest father of his youngest son, Mr. Dean Dahl.
Yep, I'm proud of the sons that are on camera right now. You said it well, Josh. There is so much football. It's every year I go through this. Bowl season, NFL playoffs, end of the season, and then sometime in January it just kind of oozes down, and then it's like, and I love basketball, but college football and NFL and just football in general has a fun vibe, and we've had a lot happening in the last 2 weeks.
Yes, we have. Not only, in football and everything. The reason I want to say we had quite the stretch here, and navigating the holidays with a 7-month-old child. Boy, let me tell you, it is a lot. But good old Harrison, he fought through it. Life is grand, and we're back. We are back for arguably, I was going to say, one of my favorite episodes because it is an accumulation of literally 18 weeks, probably even more, 18, 19, 20 weeks of college football playing. And we have a phenomenal guest picker who's going to try and bring it home for the guest pickers. Ladies and gentlemen, Kade Holt.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
And you can tell he's got the pride of UW Stout written all over his face.
Absolutely.
He has that look of someone that accomplished something and now is ready to take on the world.
Yep, that's me. Recent graduate.
Yeah. What did you graduate with, kid?
A degree in engineering technology and a concentration in production operations.
Dang. So not only does he have the looks, he has the brains to support it. That is an impressive degree. You just have that brain that figures things out, sees how things work. And ideally with that, where's some place that you've applied or where you want to see yourself? What are some of those jobs that you're looking at, whether it's a company or what you're hoping for in that job?
Yeah, I just started looking around, looking at different, like Polaris would be sweet. Potentially
Seriously.
a dream job. There's a lot of just small manufacturing areas around, or plants around here that I'd be interested in. Gemini is pretty cool around here. Been in contact with them, and then just some other places nearby. There's a ton everywhere. Recently applied to Excel Energy. Working on the nuclear power plant, that'd be really cool. So,
well, nuclear energy, nothing can go wrong, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Kade, where are you? Are you in Menominee or are you in Cannon Falls now?
I'm in Cannon Falls in my parents' basement. Moved back in.
But you're still paying rent in Menominee, though.
I am for the rest of the spring. So,
hey, that two-property life, Yeah, I was gonna say, you're living that two-property life. He knows all about that. He's got a couple of them underneath his belt. I myself, I'm down to one. I've only been at one for a while, so I'm not quite on the status of you guys here. So props to you guys on that one.
Yep. Stepping it up in the world.
Absolutely. Well, before we go any further, Dad, please, the viewers, the listeners, everyone has been waiting for this intro. It's been weeks. Do not hold out on them any longer.
The first intro of 2025 coming right at you.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, there it is.
Talk about bringing in the new year. Wow. It's something amazing, isn't it, Kade?
Never gets old.
Well, here for me,
Amen to that.
before we have really a weird woven past together. Obviously, we're all related. And sorry that you got stuck with me in that part of it. But I coached the girls basketball in Cannon Falls, and Katie Swanson was one of my players, and she married a very successful football coach who coached in Northfield and coached Josh, and then went to Cannon Falls and coached Kade. You both played for Dan Myers.
Oh, Myers. Yeah, don't forget that S. It's that confusion. People are like, is it sports dolls? Is it sport dolls?
I know. Sorry, podcast listeners.
Don't want to mess that up. But yeah, that is an absolute crazy little trail of dots and yarn, and literally links us all together. Now, my experience with Coach Myers was in middle school, so it's a few years back, needless to say. But obviously, he has grown and became Cannon Falls head football coach. Is that right, Kade?
Yep. Head football coach for probably 7 or 8 years.
And how many years have they been to the state?
I think 4. 4 of his 7. I want to say he's been there for 7, and I think 4 state tournament appearances.
Jeez, does he have any titles underneath?
He does not. He's got a 3rd or 5th place. I can't remember which.
Yeah, made it
championship appearances.
Yeah, they've made it as far as the semis. And what's really cool, part 1, I went to, and I can't remember where, I think it was Lakeville. Anyway, watched Cannon Falls play Fairmont in the first round of state. And guess who? Former Sport Dolls guest picker, a head official of that game from St. James.
Oh, wow. Was he actually really?
Yeah, Steve Walker was
Steve Walker getting up and down a football field, eh? So that means he got every official's got some legs. Don't let the size fool you about those officials, because they get up and down. Let's just say that.
They're in better shape than you'd think, most of
them. they are in surprisingly good shape. That is for sure. So way to go, Steve Walker. I was going to say, the guy's still got it.
And then what's also cool, I said it wrong when Kade and I were talking. I call it the wishbone, going back to the old Texas Longhorns. Power T, they run something that so few schools run. And what was it like to be part of that offense, Kade?
Transitioning, we were in a pro-style offense to a Power T. It was something for sure. As a skinnier guy like myself, I was a wide receiver, and I had the option to either jump to a tight end, who basically becomes an O-lineman, or a running back. And that decision for me was pretty clear. I wanted to get the ball. So,
give me the ball. I don't want to block. Thanks, coach. Put me in the backfield.
Yep. So then I became a running back, and had some good runs for sure in my day.
There you go.
It was actually a lot of fun. I think I would have had more fun, or I think I would have had less fun being a wide receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when we're saying Power T, we're talking, we have everyone on the line. We're talking center, guards, tackles, probably 2, if not a third tight end. And
2 tight ends,
And then 3 running backs.
Yep, quarterback under center, and then 3 running backs behind him.
Saucy. And if you run it well, like, it looks ridiculous because, like, maybe one formation, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe one formation, you have one wideout that is, like, split from the bunch, maybe.
We had a trips formation we'd run in crunch time if we were down. Otherwise, it was one formation.
And the best is when you watch it, you got to watch close because the quarterback has so much power and has so much responsibility. But every game that I've been at, and I've watched you play 3 games, Cade, there's that random where the handoff to the first back, and he just blows through, because everyone's figuring where it's going to go.
Yeah, there's so much trickery. Every single play we run, we either hand it off to that middle running back or we fake it to that middle running back. So you fake it enough to that guy, people stop tackling him, and then all of a sudden he busts one. And that happens at least once a game, basically, and it still does to this day.
I was gonna say it's borderline the Houdini play of just like, whoa, what, like what just happened? This play has gone nothing. It's been a fake. It's been a fake and been a fake. But like I remember going up against a similar offense where it's like defensively, in my mind, is we were just taught everyone has a job. Like it doesn't matter. Like linebacking core, strong safety is like you have this player. You have this play. You have the first handoff. You have the second handoff. You have the third handoff. And then the strong safety. You cover. If all of that fails, you have to get the peel out. And if one person misses their job on a given play that player has a ball, blown play, bam, down the field, you're gone.
Yeah. A lot of teams, they'd run a 5-4-2, and then they'd have 5 linemen. They'd chop every single lineman, assign those 4 linebackers to quarterback and 3 running backs, and then have 2 high safeties for any home run shots.
Yeah, just that is the beckoning call of help. Like if you miss that tackle, goodbye. That's 6.
And usually your strongest tacklers aren't your safeties.
Yeah.
No, not known.
We'd play would end up almost leading tackles sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just absolutely bizarre. Now, I've never ran an offense like that, but seen some good offenses that run it. And from a defensive standpoint, you literally have no clue who has the ball. Yeah. You have zero idea. And I don't know how many times I have tackled someone that did not have the ball that I thought I had them. I was like, yep, line of scrimmage, tackle for loss. And I'm like, let's go. And I stand up and like, this mofo doesn't have the ball right now. I'm like, all right. No idea where the ball is. Boy, I hope someone else tackled him.
Film Saturdays, and coaches would love that because they want you to run your fake as good as you can. If you get tackled, it'd be you'd get praised.
How many times in a game, Cade, did you get tackled when you were that guy, but you weren't the fake back?
If I was fake back, I got tackled at least 3, 4, 5 times a game when I didn't have the ball.
And you must just be giggling inside.
Yeah, you laugh and you sit up and you go, oh, I don't have the ball.
It's the absolute best. Like, dude, I just took out one of your main tacklers on me who literally has nothing. I have nothing.
The guy who's actually got the ball running down the field, Tony.
And I was gonna say, we didn't have an offense like that, but we had a play like that. That again, it was just like we'd fake it up the middle, but the thing is, like, we'd hand it off the middle, 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 and then one time the quarterback would just pull it and just loop around, and by the time everyone, it just like you got tackled, you're in a pile because I was that blocking tight end. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, like 2-3 yards, sure. And then you hear the crowd just go nuts and you're like, he pulled it. Way to go. That's impressive. That's an impressive offense. That's awesome to hear.
Well, Cade, thanks for giving us the Power T base edition and learning and bringing it all together for us.
Sure.
Absolutely. But hey, he's beyond that. On to engineer status at this point in time. That is for sure. But I was going to say, use that beautiful big brain of yours because we got some picks that we need to make. And Dad, let's just show all the YouTube people watching where are okay, we're gonna go.
You want what would you like first, Josh?
I want
build
overall.
to the overall or overall and work backwards?
I want overall right now.
Overall.
I sound exactly like
that. Well, if you look at
this,
the bottom, we have a new leader, and it's not the guest.
Yeah, Mr. Dean Dahl is at an accumulative 90 correct picks over the fact of 17 episodes. Guest pickers, whose Kade is representing, is at 89, and yours truly, reigning champ, trying with every fiber possible to get a back-to-back championship at 87. There's been times, I mean, you go back 1 month from now, and I have not been doing good, but I'm just going to go out there and say it. I've been playing hot right now. I'm making the right picks. All is grand, which is wonderful to even have a chance to be able to make some picks and a confidence pick. To everything's going to have to go my way, but it's a long shot, but it is a shot nonetheless.
Hey, what does it speak to you?
It speaks that I need to clutch up for the guests and one home.
Yeah, absolutely. Just think of the 17 others that have gotten you to this point. Now, I apologize to Emmett. You know, you did good, but you did lose a point for the guests, which, you know, tough, not great. But he did post some good scores. That now and would be a great time to go.
Well, what I was going to say before we go, Jeb and Mikey on Spotify, who we did not go through the overall scores in our last episode, Josh, and they're quick to remind me in the comments. So, Josh, thank you for verbally giving the overall scores so Spotify can get it and run with it. Jeb and Mikey, we got you covered.
Yeah, absolutely. So now what we're looking at is just the Big Ten teams that played in bowl games. And boy, there was a lot of them. And, you know, Emmett did absolutely crush the Nebraska confidence pick. And I'm very happy with them. So I did watch that game. It was, you know, a little, oh, man, there was one play. And it was towards the end where Nebraska had the ball. And I know Nebraska, and they're very happy with their quarterback, you know, Patrick Mahomes 2.0, look alike, play alike kind of deal. But I just got to say this. I was watching this game up in Fargo, North Dakota, and it was like fourth quarter. Nebraska had the lead, but all of a sudden he scrambles out to the left, and he makes a jab step into the middle of the field, but then attempts to slide, quote unquote slide, and he gets tackled. And they get a penalty.
I saw that.
Unnecessary roughness. Kate, I don't know if you saw this, but boy, this made me so angry because not only did I not think it was an unnecessary roughness, but I don't know the name of the quarterback for Nebraska, but he got up and immediately got in the face of that defensive player that tackled him, like borderline taunting him in his face mask. And I was absolutely heated. If I was not holding a newborn baby, I would have let the TV know.
Hey, what were your thoughts?
You know, I think it's a serious problem. All these quarterbacks fake sliding or toe tapping the sidelines and not just getting out of bounds. You've seen Tua up in the NFL. It has bell rung a few too many times. Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes is another guy. Saw it last year in AFC Championship or Bowl. He's constantly toe tapping the sidelines, getting those extra yards. And I mean, they're getting away with it, but something needs to be done. And I don't know if that's just a linebacker taking a shot on him or what it is, but it's a problem.
Like it's all over every single, like, anything, Sports Center, First Take, everything like that. And like all they talk about is, well, yeah, we got to protect the quarterback is the guy. He's our franchise guy. He's making $50 million. I get that. But what the heck is a defender supposed to do? Like, if you make a jab step, okay, you're running, you're trying to make a play. And it wasn't even like a helmet contact, play. He just tackled him as he was initiating his slide. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. So defensive players just get absolutely shelved for trying to make a play. Or if they let up and then they run for a touchdown, they run for 5-10 more yards. Now they look bad because they didn't tackle him. I'm like, quarterbacks, I'm sorry. You're a football player. If you are running, you are officially a running back. All right. And if you want to slide and protect yourself and have that protection right, you better make damn sure you are sliding early. Otherwise, you are going to get hit because you are a running player. Running backs get tackled all the time. They never get penalties for getting hit too hard. It's ridiculous. Like, you got to draw the line somewhere because it's stupid. And it ended up like giving Boston College, it gave Nebraska the first down, and they ran the clock out and everything like that. I'm happy for Nebraska. Congrats on your win. But I'm like, dude, a play like that, it affects the game without a doubt.
Yeah. And when it's decided the game, it's gone too far.
And BC definitely started slow and had the momentum going on their side.
They had all the momentum. Yeah. They scored a touchdown. They blocked a punt. They scored another touchdown. They just needed a defensive stop for a chance to go down and win the game. And that was it. And because of that, I was like, oh, man, that got my blood boiling. Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. But, like, if they're going to give it to him, the rest are going to give it to him. Take advantage of it. That's what he's been doing. And you can't be mad at him because he understands the game. He understands what he's going to get away with. But it's just out of control. Like Kade said, it's absolutely ridiculous.
My big highlight game before we go to the playoffs, and Kade, if there's one that you want to jump on, fine, or we'll move on. But the Gophers versus Virginia Tech, and Kade, previous episodes, I'm a bowl game purist, and I've gone with my two sons to a lot of bowl games, and I've been to 7 Fiesta Bowls, and it's just the culmination of a year. And it used to be years ago, a few players sat out. Right. Virginia Tech returned 22 starters from the 2023 season. 10 either went portal or somewhere else, or were hoping to go to the NFL. 10 of the 22 starters didn't play. And I was worried about the Gophers because Max Brosmer, he is going to get drafted, and, who knows at what level, but he's aspiring. But there were even Lindemann played in the game. And after the game, quickly, the Gophers had an impressive win. They should have won by more, but they kept it close. But it was so cool to see Max say, well, we didn't even expect you to play. And he goes, well, this was the last time we all get to play together. And I heard it from other players. So it was PJ has built a community of team. And I'm curious your take on it, Kade.
Yeah, I think PJ has done a great job. The recruits he's getting now, Coy Perrick is a stud. Brosmer came in, he had a great year.
Yeah.
Finished 7-5, but still, this team started peaking at the wrong time. PJ's done a great job. I'm glad we signed him to that big deal, and I think we're going in the direction for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was gonna say it's always tough because Dad, being your son, we always appreciated the quality of this is the bowl, this is your season coming to an end. This is one big match, one big last hurrah. And it definitely has something to do with a little bit older, but hitting the nail on the head. This is literally the last time this team is going to play a football game together. Offense, defense, everything. This is the team. And I'm like, oh, and like, if you look at it like that, yes, I understand people's careers beyond college. Very important. Literally, Christian McCaffrey is like one of the first people I remember who was Heisman candidate caliber player that had a game and he was just like, nope, not going to play. I'm gonna go to the NFL. And I remember at the time being super upset about it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is why people want to come to this bowl game to watch you play. Now, obviously, he's made himself a phenomenal career in the NFL. He can't get off the injury bug right now. Knowing that, probably smart. That guy is more injury prone than myself as a toddler riding a bike through the streets of Cannon Falls. I am going to hit a curb. I'm going to hit a parked car. I am going to hurt. There will be stitches. There will be injury. I get it. And it's like, okay, that's a case where, like, you're mad at the time, but overall you can see, okay, yeah, probably smart for him. But, hats off to all those guys that out there that wanted to just have that one special moment, that one last game with this team, because this team is special. You spent years and a whole season with that, and there's just nothing that you can substitute for that feeling, that bond and everything. So, tip my hat to the Gophers for putting a freaking great team out there. And a casual 21 unanswered points in the second quarter of that game, which was awesome to watch because I watched the first half of it. And I'm like, whoo, they are fire right now.
Kade, are there any games there that caught your eye?
Yeah, I wanted to touch on Michigan, Alabama with 10-point favorites. Michigan coming out, showing what the Big Ten's really made of.
Amen to that.
I think it shows that SEC is officially on the downfall and Big Ten is the new big dog.
Oh my gosh. Literally, think about if you're Michigan. You finish your season beating Ohio State, like in a game that Ohio State needed to win. So, fast forward to the Alabama game. Sure, there's a lot of Alabama players that probably didn't play going to the draft. But they're reloading. They got 5-star recruits up the wazoo right now. But Michigan coming out, being an Ohio State team that really wanted to win that game to get the Big Ten championship, beat Ohio State, and then you come out and you play an Alabama team that's pissed that they think they got snubbed, and you come out and freaking beat them. Whew. Dude, that got me all fired up for Michigan. Like, I'm not a Michigan fan, but boy, I love to see it.
Yeah, that was huge to see. And then I know next year they're going to be an even bigger threat with that new quarterback, Bryce Underwood.
Yep.
I think they're going to be scary next year.
Well,
absolutely.
And then it was so interesting. And sorry, I'm not an SEC person, but the AD from Alabama, his interview and his whining, we've been doing it the right way. We've got titles when Saban was here, and this and that. Well, sorry, we're no longer Mr. Nice Guy. We're going to do it like the rest of the country. And I was just like, dude, quit whining.
Yeah. Dude, I absolutely love kind of seeing Alabama not advance. Of course, the playoffs expanded and they still don't make it and they still pout about it. I couldn't have been happier to just watch them complain. Like, dude, take care of business. Do your thing. You win one of those 3 games that you lost, 2 of which were average 500 level teams that you got absolutely blown out by Oklahoma, and you lost to a Vandy team that you thought was garbage. Like, no, take care of business, and then you don't have to worry about it. Don't leave it up to the committee. Done with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, it was like you said, Kade, it was absolutely just an exclamation mark at the end of Michigan's not great season. But now you look at it, they beat an Ohio State team that's in the semifinals. Alabama's Alabama. They beat them. Like, talk about they're on the up and up. They're hitting their stride right now. And you better watch out for them 2025 season. They're going to be scary.
And then we go to, which seems like forever ago, when the first round of the playoffs, and Nate Stevens, golfer at Notre Dame, who actually, I don't know if I told you this, Kade, he actually went to the Indiana Notre Dame game.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
fun.
So
Yeah.
Nate did well nailing the confidence pick, and 3-3-2. So it wasn't like anyone ran away with it.
Yeah. Look at all of us just giving Ohio State 0% chance, and now they're in the semifinals. How dumb do we look with that pick right now?
Okay, well now we move to the semis.
Well,
Which
hold on.
actually start
I
in
kind
the
of
Orange
want to
Bowl.
talk about the quarterfinals.
Hmm?
I was going to say, are we going to talk about the quarterfinals? Because
Okay.
I know we missed that episode. But let's just say, how absolutely crazy is it that 1, 2, 3, 4 bye week,
Yes.
extra rest, everything all lost? Do you think that extra rest compared to the 4 teams that they played that just kept playing on their regular season, play a game on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, playing again on Friday, Saturday, like they're in their groove. They didn't have that extra bye week and they all lost. Like, is that a factor? Like, obviously this year people are gonna be like, oh geez, maybe bye week's not as good as it should be, type of deal. But those teams that came in and played crushed it. They absolutely crushed it. It was unreal.
One thing that I heard, I can't, and I'm curious to get this take from you guys. I didn't come up with on my own, but a sports podcast I listened to, and they said, again, the top 4 seeds that got a bye, all lose.
Mm-hmm.
If that top 4 seed is such a big deal, maybe do the bowl games for the first round.
Yep.
And then let the top 4 teams host at home so that top 4 thing is worth something. So, if you're playing at Eugene, Oregon instead of at the Rose Bowl, who
Right.
knows? What are your thoughts, Kade?
I think that. I think getting that 1 through 4 seed in the bye week is huge, which didn't actually show at all, but
Yeah,
the is needed. That home field advantage should be something that is seen though, with the guys having home field advantage that first round, and
like
then
every home field team won, and they won handedly.
Yes, I
such
mean,
an edge in college football that if you're the 1 through 4 seed, I don't get how you couldn't. I don't know. I would kind of throw a fit about it if I was them. I like that
Right.
take.
Absolutely. I mean, looking at it from the college football playoff committee, yep, I understand that you want to hit the big bowls, the Sugar Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl. I get that. Those are big bowls. You want big games in them. So host the first round, exactly. Host the first round of the playoffs in them, because those are huge. Those are awesome. It's literally 5 through 12. But yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be so interesting, like hosting a quarterfinals game, because it's a quarterfinals. Because then guess what? You go to the semifinals, then hit those other bowls again. Like literally, like save the Rose Bowl, save the Sugar Bowl for the semifinals location, and then national championship wherever. But I strongly believe that would have a huge impact on it. Now, Mr. Moneybags in overall college football is sitting here going, how many seats are in Arizona State Stadium?
oh well, let's go down. How about the Blue Field in Boise?
Exactly. Boise would have been hosting that game against Penn State. And you can only sell so many tickets. You can't go beyond the capacity, maybe by 1,000 for standing room, but you can't go about that. So if you have a set finite number of tickets, you can only make so much money, which is the unfortunate part, which is exactly probably why it is the way that it is.
Okay, moving to the games before we do our picks.
Mm-hmm.
One, and I'm going to connect to what we were talking about officiating. Texas, Arizona State, if that hit is not targeting helmet to helmet, defensive receiver, you tell me what is.
I Don't know.
That was pretty textbook targeting. I get them wanting to make the call, that'd be so pivotal. But that's I just have to call.
Oh,
like literally, like game time, you're like, okay, sure, whatever. But you stop the game. You look at slow motion. And when you look at slow motion, everything is so clear. Like, obviously, he did not hit with vicious intent. We understand that. But it wasn't the crown of his helmet, sure. But it was, what were the first things that were contacted? Face mask to face mask. Boom. That
defenseless receiver.
He got rocked. And again, he didn't do it by purpose. He was just trying to make a play, but their helmets just collided. And the player got hurt. He had to come off the field. They had to have a whole ordeal. But no, that's not it. I was going to say, screenwriters of college football playoffs were like, no. We gotta get Texas into the semifinals. Come on, guys. Texas fan, huge fan base. We gotta get them there.
Kade, what did you think of the ASU Texas game?
I thought it was great. I loved watching the game. I watched every second of that one.
That game was awesome to watch. Like, you thought, I watched for Texas's first thing, 2 plays, 75 yards, bam. I'm like, oh shit. This one's going to get out of hand, but they didn't give up.
Yeah, but then watching Scadaboo just do it from everywhere literally was awesome to watch. I was rooting for ASU as basically underdogs. I know they were higher seed. Yeah, I was rooting for ASU. The targeting call was super pivotal. Didn't agree with the call. I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was great. I can't complain.
Yeah, I give ASU credit. Awesome, when it was 4th and 8, I mean, they stop them. They advance, and they sent
the touchdown.
They sent the house.
Yeah,
and yours. They no one got close to them, and it's like the athletes on Texas are too good. Someone's going to get open, and clearly they were.
That Matthew is a stud too.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's just one of those where, like, literally it comes down to a couple of plays. Like, obviously they fight back and forth. But again, like, they realized they had 4th and 8. They were one defensive 7-yard or shorter play away from advancing. And that's when it's like, great teams. This is a great opportunity. This is it. You already scored your touchdown. You just got to stop them. They didn't, which is tough. But you can't be too mad because they did have their opportunities.
What?
They did. That would be one of them.
And then to watch Scadaboo come off the field, and they only showed him losing his junk once. Mm-hmm. And then, give him electrolytes. And then it was so interesting. Puts a helmet on. I'm ready. It's like, dude, you are a beast.
Yeah, he's kind of a psychotic guy. Like, one you love to have on your team, but boy, you hate to go against him because that guy's going to run through a concrete wall. No matter how many times he has to hit it and get knocked down, he's going to run through it eventually. Like, that's the kind of vibes I get from him. Hopefully he has a promising career in the NFL. He's got the mentality, that's for sure. And he's got some talent, and he's got some athleticism. So, I always like watching these games going, maybe I can get a late round draft pick in my fantasy football league. Some guy like rookie who might just break out. Scadaboo may be the guy.
Well, Notre Dame took advantage of Georgia mistakes, advance. Penn State did. I mean, they continue to play power ball.
Yeah,
they control. Go to the picks. Did anyone see the Ohio State open a can of whoop butt like they did?
Dude, I know. Like, I look back. I know we didn't do a podcast episode, but I was like, I know I'm picking Oregon. I probably would have picked Penn State. I definitely would have picked Texas to win. I guarantee Texas did not cover the spread for sure over ASU. And again, I would have picked Georgia over Notre Dame. So that being said, no, I did not see Ohio State coming out and just lighting it up. Every offensive possession, huge plays. Like literally they were up like 31-8 at halftime. And that was because Oregon scored a late touch. It was like it may have been 31-11 or something because they went for a touchdown and a 2-point conversion at the end of half. I'm like, that's all you had. And dude, I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified to play Ohio State right now. They are freaking white hot, and they have a full head of steam moving forward right now.
Yeah, watching Ohio State just absolutely belittle Oregon was something I not have on my bingo card. I had Ohio State winning, but I thought it was going to be a close game after their matchup. In October?
Yeah, Oregon. You thought it would be a close game like that.
Yeah, but yeah, clearly Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith. Is that his name? Yeah, they had different intentions. So.
Yeah, they're insane. Notre Dame is playing great football. Georgia is no slouch of a team. Now, granted, they have their second string quarterback in, but doesn't exclude the 23 other starters and studs they have on their team. And Notre Dame just took care of business. And I hate that I'm saying this, but they are also a white hot team that I would be scared to play because they are on fire and they don't care who they play. Like Georgia has all the intimidation factor with multiple national championships within the past 5 years, and they just don't care. They're just going to keep playing their ball. Their quarterback just puts everything. He didn't pass great, but if he's not passing great, what is he doing? He's rushing the ball. It's like, geez, this guy is hard to stop. And I hate to say it, but Notre Dame is proving a very valid point. They deserve to be in the semifinals right now. It's going to be hard to pick against them, but we'll see. I don't like Notre Dame, but they are making it hard to go against them. That's for sure.
Well, before we move on, I did do Dollalytics last week, and just to let you know, and I would have been uncomfortable because my heart and my head go in. I have years and years and years of college experience, and not that it makes me any smarter, but I connect games to a game 3 years ago. But Dollalytics, running the numbers, had Notre Dame winning by 5.5, which would have made me uncomfortable going against Georgia. Penn State winning by 7.5.
Check that.
Texas winning by 10.5.
Not even close. I mean, they got lucky that, they ended up winning by 8 because they had to go for it on 2, right? I think second overtime. But yeah, so obviously it was an overtime game, so 10.5 was a bit of a stretch, but yeah, anyways.
And I had Ohio State winning by 2.
A little more than that.
Slightly more. So yeah, okay. So you're just going on record saying Dollalytics would have been perfect for the quarterfinals. Let's see how they add up into the semifinals.
Yep, here we go. Before we start and do our picks and lay the format out, Kade, you're a guest picker. You're a really good picker. What is it that is your secret sauce that's going to bring the guests an overall victory this year?
So as an engineer, I've always been a numbers guy.
Yes.
A bunch of numbers. I'm a stats guy.
Yep.
I'm mainly looking at QB stats and defensive stats.
There we go.
Okay.
I love it. Numbers don't lie. Math does not lie. It has stood the test of time.
Absolutely.
Okay. We're going to do things a little bit different. We always kept the order of the guests go first, Josh second, me third. But since I have the lead, I will go first, and I'll just show both of you the right pick, and then you can decide whether to go along with it.
Absolutely. So, Dad, to you, Thursday night, tomorrow night, we have Penn State playing Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 1-point favorite. Long story short, who's going to win this game? Penn State or Notre Dame.
Live from the Orange Bowl. Dollalytics, these two teams of the four teams match up extremely, extremely well. Both defenses are really, really, really good. And only thing is that makes me concerned, and it did play out in Georgia. Notre Dame gets a lot of penalties. They're 69 in penalties. And their offense, I don't think they can't count on Penn State giving the ball up like Georgia did, and
Correct.
the special teams. So I'm going with Penn State because Penn State Dollalytics has Penn State winning by 1.
Yep. It is this. Yeah, this game is going to be close no matter what. So Dollalytics, his numbers and stats and everything like that, puts Penn State. So all right,
Okay,
Cade, what do your numbers say?
So looking at the stats, we've got Drew Aller. He's a stud. I know he might not be a big guy in the pros, but 3,224 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And then the running back duo of Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, they've combined for 17 touchdowns. Their offense is clicking. Don't forget about Tyler Warren, their tight end. He's going to be a stud in the league. Over 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns on the year. And I just don't think Riley Leonard, and I know Jeremiah Love is a stud too on Notre Dame, but I don't think they can hang with Penn State. Penn State is 6th in total defense in the country. Notre Dame's 8th, but the way Penn State's clicking, I got them covering.
Okay. See, I have this. This is an easy pick for me.
Is it easy? Because we know how you feel.
Yeah. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time for the Notre Dame fans because I did talk a lot of shit to you because I always make fun of Notre Dame for not being in a conference. And I honestly was cheering against you against Indiana, and I was also cheering against you against Georgia. So, obviously I chose both teams to beat you. That didn't happen. So I apologize to Notre Dame fans, not because of the things that I said, but because I'm choosing you to win and cover, which means it probably won't happen. But yeah, this is a tough game. Both teams are peaking, as you said before, Kate. They are peaking at the right time. Both offenses are, that's the biggest thing. Their offenses are just clicking. They are putting up points. Me, I'm a gambling man because I need to win this game against you two. With both of you going Penn State, and as much as I don't like Notre Dame, we obviously will go with the Fighting Irish to advance to the national championship game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Easy pick for me, folks.
Okay, Josh, let's go to Arlington.
Also, some white hot teams. One team more or less than the other, that being Ohio State. Ohio State playing Texas. OSU is favored, despite being the 8 seed compared to the 5 seed. OSU is favored by 5.5 points. They're favored. Finally, they are favored in this game.
Okay, Dollalytics. These are the two, and we can say it, and it's real. The two best teams money can buy. There's a lot of money. Ewers is the highest paid NIL athlete in college football. I think it was 2.1 he's making that is going on. So there's a lot of talent, but the intangible thing here is Texas makes a lot of mistakes. They make a lot of big plays, but they make a lot of penalties. And their red zone offense, if they don't make the big play, they have a tough time getting in the end zone. And Ohio State is just firing on all cylinders. They've got something to prove. Day Day is ready to go and show everybody how good they are. Ohio State winning by 6, which is more than 5.5. So I'm picking OSU.
There you go. Kade, your thoughts?
Oh, I have to go Ohio State as well. They're going to cover this game for sure. Will Howard, he's been playing really, really well. 3,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, only 9 picks. And then with Smith and Egbuka on the outside, they've combined for 24 touchdowns. Those two are studs. They're both going to be studs in the league. And then they've got a running back duo between Henderson and Judkins. They're both studs as well. 20 touchdowns between the two of them. I know Quinn Ewers and Matthew Golden have a connection. Matthew Golden has 9 touchdowns, over 900 yards. But Ohio State is just so good. I think Ryan Day is going to save his job. I know people are calling for his head after losing to Michigan again. He's gonna save his job. I think this game might turn into a blowout. That's my prediction.
Ooh. 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 I agree. Kate, I agree with a lot of things that you're saying, for the fact that Ryan, despite having such a high win percentage at Ohio State and really not having anything to accomplish at the end of the year, is just mind-blowing. That guy's win percentage is probably 85 to 90% win percentage. It's insane. Like, the guy just wins, but he doesn't win the big game.
Yep, which matters much to those Ohio State fans that they're willing to chop him when he clearly doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
you're right. I was gonna say you can't be upset with him. He brings you to the Big Ten championship. He brings you 10-win seasons again and again, which is mind blowing. That the fact that it is true. Apparently, his head is on the chopping block for just being one of the most winningest coaches at Ohio State, which is hilarious. But they want national championships. It's been 12 years since they've got it. I don't feel bad for them that they're like, oh, we haven't won in 12 years. Tough. Tatas. They are a scary team to play. I said it before, I'll say it again. They are an absolute terrifying team to play. Now, I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Do I think Ohio State might win this game? Yes. But I think this is going to be an absolute shootout as opposed to a blowout, where I think Texas is going to put up huge numbers. I would not be surprised that this game is 40-something to 40-something in the end. And I just need Texas to play out of their minds. Now, that being said, it's, again, I'm playing the odds to be back-to-back Sport Dolls champion. Again, you guys are making it easy for me, and I thank you for that. So I commend you. Hook 'em. Let's go, Longhorns. Get to the national championship. Make it happen.
And we're off to the Peach Bowl, so we're jumping ahead. There's no spreads yet on this.
Yeah. So we're just picking winners.
Picking winners. And how many points is it worth, Josh?
We're going to double points for 2.
Yep. And
unless you choose it as your confidence pick, and then we make it 4. So that's scary, for the fact that right now I'm sitting pretty good on making my comeback if my teams win.
Okay, just so that the confidence is regardless is only worth 1.
Okay, fair enough. Right, because you could choose a confidence pick in the semis, get your +1. It shouldn't mean more in the national championship. I understand that. I get it. Hey, my 2 teams that I think are in the national championship are different than your 2 teams. So if I just hit everything right now, that's going to be good for me. And everything is set up. I just need to pick a confidence game and have it hit and go perfect for my 3 picks. That's all I got to do. I got to go 3 for 3. And that means obviously I'll hit a confidence pick. That will give me, obviously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, which is enough to surpass you people and becoming a champion. So
Not so fast.
Yeah, we could play around. No, see, if I get one pick wrong in the semis, I'm out. I'm done. Even if I pick the national champion correctly, you guys pick the. I just need to go perfect. Long story short. That being said, Dad, you have Penn State, Ohio State. I like the way you set that up. An all Big Ten national.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see this. I would love to see an all Big Ten championship. I think it would be insane. But who's winning in that game?
And Dollalytics is really, really tight. And if we were meeting and there was a spread, I'm sure Ohio State would be picked by 4.5, 5 games. Let's see. I don't want to give it away, but I'll just say
You gotta pick
Ohio State's winning by 2.5.
Woo!
And simply put, Day owns Franklin. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
James, and I like James Franklin a lot. He is never beaten Ohio State, if I believe it, from game
Right.
one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not going to change. Ohio State, as much as down the street, there's that Ohio State Buckeye flag. Every community's got one.
It's still hanging in there.
So that's who I'm going with.
Ohio State winning it all. Coach Day's head on the line. He's going to do it. He's going to answer the call. Kade, you also have Penn State, Ohio State.
I do. And I'm in a major – my brain is in a twist on this one because I think it's going to be tough. Big Ten showdown, both tough football teams, both good defenses historically and currently. But I think this might be an Ohio State dud game. I think
they make it to there and just –
Yep. And I think Penn State gets the edge here, possibly by about 3 points. I think it's a field goal.
Game time field goal, absolutely. So Kade's going Penn State, just a sleeper all the way through. You know, they had a couple of losses. They edged their way into the playoffs. They proved they deserve to be in the semis. Both of these teams prove they deserve to be in the playoffs. Obviously, they're here. Obviously, I like your pick a whole lot more than Dean's pick here because Ohio State can suck eggs for all I care.
Ohio State for the guests. They're on my back here, final week. That's the only way I can really win this. So me and Dean can go scratch across the board.
Absolutely. Now, I have a Notre Dame. Dude, I think, God is with this Notre Dame team, and oh man, Texas is America's team. This is tough.
And you are a closet Longhorn fan, going all the way to Colt.
Yeah, I talked about it at work today. That I was the classic. I was a huge UT fan. Because they were winning national titles, getting in the national championship game. So it's easy to cheer for them is awesome. All the NCAA teams always playing for UT. Always, always, always. And then, of course, the 2005 Rose Bowl between the undefeated Texas Longhorns and the undefeated USC Trojans. Immaculate game. One of the best national championships ever, in my opinion. That being said,
you're stalling.
Just because I don't know. I hate to say this. God, I hate to say this. But I think we're going to crown Notre Dame the last time Notre Dame went to the national championship, they got absolutely embarrassed by Alabama. They got the Holy Spirit on their side. I'm going to go Notre Dame national champions in this season. It's absolutely nuts, but I've been burned by them twice. So therefore, I will choose them twice. I hate it, but I can totally see it happening. 100%.
Well, and Kade, you don't know this yet, and I don't know if we talked about it at Christmas, but Nate, family friend who was on, and I'm really good friends with his dad, said, and this is his last year, next year he's a senior, so I'm likely going to go to South Bend for a football game next year.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I'm
gonna be good
excited.
stuff. Hey, absolutely. So there you have it.
But we have confidence picks.
Again and again. Confidence picks. Dad, you lead us off. Who is your confidence pick?
I am going with what I believe is they are sliding under the radar. They will win. They will kick you out tomorrow night, kick you out of this whole thing, Josh. I'm putting it on Penn State winning against Notre Dame.
Kade, you can pick Penn State in the semis. You can pick Penn State in the Natty. You can pick Ohio State. Which team do you think will win?
Ohio State. That's my confidence pick. I said it earlier. They might steamroll Texas, and I'm sticking to it.
And of course, sticking with them. Might as well. We're going to go Notre Dame.
Which game?
The semifinals, don't you? I'm going to give them as much as I can give. I'm not betting on them in the future. I'm betting on them right now. Thursday night, Notre Dame taking that 1-point victory over Penn State. Now, if they lose, I will not be upset. Let's just say this. But man, if you literally listen, for any listeners who are still listening to this, if you listen to the last podcast, I cannot say enough bad things about Notre Dame. And here I am going with confidence pick and natty champions. All right. Whistling a different tune. 2025, new year, new me. And apparently it's all in on Notre Dame.
So, Spotify listeners, what we have, I went with Penn State winning the semis, Ohio State winning the semis, and Ohio State winning it all. Kade went with Penn State winning the semis, Ohio State winning the semis, and Penn State winning it all. And Josh, the new Irish fan, went with Notre Dame winning the semis, Texas, hook 'em horns, and Notre Dame. I can't even say it without laughing. Notre Dame winning it all.
With my Minnesota Pride hat on. Absolutely. Minnesota born now Notre Dame fan. I will be, I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic if they win tomorrow night. For them the chance to go on and win, it is going to be unbelievable. I still think they should be in a conference, but for the situation that we have right now, we are all in on the Fighting Irish. Go team.
Well, if you've made it this far, thank you incredibly so much. This was a super, super fun episode. Kade, I am so thankful you came and it worked out. We did some juggling between the three of us. This was everything I had high expectations, and it totally surpassed all of them. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. I look forward to being a guest picker again.
Yeah, absolutely. We loved having you. I was going to say we covered a lot, and best of luck to you, Kade, because if I can't win it all, I'm always cheering for the guests. No offense, Dad.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, if I'm wrong, I hope I'm completely wrong, and I just go over on the last week, and then I will be a big Penn State fan. So let's just say that.
There we go.
Absolutely. Well, Kade, thank you so much for coming on. It was a great episode. We covered a lot. And as always in Sports Dolls podcast form, we break down the episode. We put our hand in front of the camera like a huddle, and we break it down. And we do Sport Dolls on 3. 1, 2, 3, Sport Dolls.
Just like that.
Bam! You're stealing the words right out of my mouth.
I know. I beat you to it, man.
Sorry, I'm a little slow. We said it earlier.